Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
It's Waiver Wire Tuesday. Today on SB Fantasy Football. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to SB Fantasy Football with your pal Alan. And that's right, today it's Waiver Wire Tuesday. Week 1 of the NFL is in the books. Maybe you didn't draft too great. Maybe you drafted Aaron Rodgers and you need some help. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, J.K. Dobbins. There's several players that are out. You need a little bit of help. Or maybe you're one of those who overreacts, right? Week 1's bad. You drafted Joe Burrow and he had an awful week 1 like he does every year. And now you're panicking, you don't know what to do, and you're going to cut Joe Burrow and you're going to cut ties, and you need some guys to pick up. Well, first of all, don't overreact, okay? Take a breath. It's week 1. You're not going to win your league and you're not going to lose your league in week 1, okay? Guys, sometimes it takes a week or two for some guys to kind of get up to speed. Joe Burrow is one of them. He's been bad week 1 the last several years. So don't freak out. Don't panic. But let's get into a few guys that you can go ahead and pick up. These guys are out there in pretty much all of your leagues. At least 50-something%. Let's start with the quarterback position. I got 3 guys for you to look at in the quarterback position. Mac Jones. 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception against the really good Eagles defense. He's out there for you. Now, is he going to light the world on fire every week? No, but I mean, if he does that against a good Eagles defense, he might be all right. Jordan Love. Now, take this with a grain of salt because he did play the Bears, and the Bears do suck. I think it's funny that Bears go out and just get rolled week 1 by Jordan Love because everyone was talking about how they're going to be so great this year. Now, again, it's only week 1, but still don't think the Bears are going to be that great. But Jordan Love Sunday, 245 yards, 3 TDs, looked like a quarterback. Again, playing the Bears, but still looked pretty good. And then, of course, Brock Purdy. Now, Brock Purdy's owned in about 56% of leagues, so he's only out there in about 44%, but 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, came out. Brock Purdy looked good, did what he needed to do. I think this is a guy that is going to get better as the season goes on. Looked really good. I like Brock Purdy. So those 3 quarterbacks that you guys can target. Let's look at some wide receivers, starting with one of Mac Jones' guys, Kendrick Bourne. 6 catches for 64 yards and 2 TDs. He's available in virtually every league. He's owned in like 3% of leagues. If you think Mac Jones is going to be it, Kendrick Bourne he might be all right for you. Jacoby Myers is another guy that's out there. Now, he is in concussion protocol, so there's a possibility he might not play this week, but he had 9 catches for 81 yards and 2 TDs. Jimmy G's there. Jimmy G he has the potential to support two wide receivers because you got Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby's he's shown that he can be all right. He can be serviceable. We'll see how he does, but as long as Jimmy G is there and playing, he should be okay. Let's look at the Rams. The Rams got two guys that stood out. Puka Nakua had 10 catches for 119 yards, and Tutu Atwell had 6 catches for 119 yards. Both these guys aren't owned in like virtually any leagues. With Cooper Kupp on the IR, these are the two guys that stood out, especially with like Puka. He did have 15 targets, 10 catches on 15 targets. So Stafford did look his way a lot, and Tutu had 8 targets with 6 catches. So those are two guys that got a lion's share of the Stafford targets. With Cooper Kupp being out, those are definitely two guys that stood out in week 1. Van Jefferson's always just kind of been there. He was the guy that everyone was kind of looking at. I was actually looking at Ben Skinowitz, which neither one of them really stood out, but these two guys definitely stood out. So, and then the last guy we got is Rashid Shaheed. He had 6 targets, 5 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. He also had 2 rushes for 11 yards. Looked pretty solid in week 1. So there's 5 guys that you can go ahead and take a look at with your wide receivers. The one guy that definitely be careful of is Jacoby Myers with that concussion and being in the concussion protocol. Running back wise, J.K. Dobbins goes down. Justin Hill is available in, or just not Justin, Justice Hill is available in pretty much every single league. Now, he had himself a good day. He had 8 rushes for 9 yards, but 2 TDs. So he's a guy who's going to get those red zone runs. Now, is he going to step up and get a bigger role with JK being out? You've also got Gus Edwards there, and they did promote Melvin Gordon off of the practice squad onto the active roster. You're going to see a running back by committee type thing going on there. But with Justice Hill getting those red zone rushes, that is definitely a good sign, a positive sign of some things to come. Don't be dropping anybody who you were expecting to have a good week, like a la Dalvin Cook, right? He had like 36 yards rushing and 26 yards receiving, or vice versa. Didn't have the biggest week 1, but he's still new with that system, still learning the playbook, still getting a hang of everything. And you have Brees Hall there, right? But I think Dalvin Cook will get better as the season goes on, especially with Aaron Rodgers being out now. Look for them to run the ball a lot more there in New York. So don't freak out about Dalvin Cook. A guy who shocked me week 1, Joshua Kelly. 16 rushes for 91 yards and a TD. He's only owned in like 6% of your leagues right now. He had himself a week. Career highs there. This is a guy that I had zero regard for because he hasn't shown anything over the last several years. Well, in this now again, week 1, but week 1 in this new Kellen Moore offense, he looked good. Him and Eckler both looked really good in week 1. So he's definitely a guy. If you need a running back, he's out there and he's available. And the last guy I got is Kyron Williams. It's with the Rams, though, right? Cam Akers did have more touches than he did, but he had 15 rushes for 52 yards, two TDs. He did have 2 targets. They did target him twice in the passing game. He didn't come down with either one of those catches. He's available in like 94% of your leagues. So he's definitely out there in all of your leagues. But be careful because, again, it's just 1 week. I don't want to base who's going to get the lion's share of the work because week 1, Cam Akers had more touches. He just didn't get the yards. Cam Akers has shown he can get it. So, again, just be cautious with that. If you want to pick him up, if you got Cam Akers, you want to pick him up as a handcuff, 100%. If you got the room on your roster, you had J.K. Dobbins, you can't get any of these other guys, yeah, go ahead and pick him up. But don't drop anybody of significance for him because you're not 100% sure what that situation is going to look like, as well as how good the Rams are going to do. Yeah, they looked good in week 1, taking care of Seattle, but is Seattle going to be that great this year? You don't know. They did have a really good year last year, but is Geno Smith going to come back down to earth? We'll see. And the last position I got for you is the tight end position. I got 2 guys there for you. The double H's, Hunter Henry and Hayden Hurst. Henry had 5 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. Hayden Hurst, 4 catches, 41 yards and a touchdown. These are both guys they're going to get some action. They're not going to get a ton of action, but as far as tight ends are concerned, they're going to do all right. You didn't really have any tight ends light up the world, but 2 of your top tight ends in the league were out. In Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews. Dallas Goedert did nothing this week, but don't freak out about him. It's 1 week. But Hunter Henry and Hayden Hurst, those are both 2 guys that are out there in a decent amount of your leagues that can get you some. They're gonna do good. They're going to be solid for you. They're not going to light the world on fire every week. They're not going to score a touchdown every week. But if they're catching 4 to 5 passes for 40 to 50 yards, that's some pretty decent production out of your tight end position. You could do a lot worse for sure. But guys, that's what I got for the waiver wire for this week, guys. Is there any players out there that I missed? Like, hey, you should have mentioned him. You should have mentioned this guy. Or do you hate these guys? Am I giving you guys some bad advice here? Let me know. Again, it is week 1, so don't panic. Don't freak out. But if you had some injuries or you drafted maybe a questionable guy, here's some guys you can go ahead and go and pick up. But hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tune in to Strikeout Beer live Wednesday, 7 p.m. Me and Rapid Dave will be there talking some more fantasy football, amongst other things, and enjoying a nice beer. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'm Alan. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces. Thanks for listening to SB Fantasy Football.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.